I'm very much excited as an investor. I really want to invest into this, AI and ML tools or startups. But there's always a concern that what I am going to invest into, whether it will become relevant or it will remain relevant tomorrow or not.
Right.
Because what I was thinking when Yash was giving us these app names, if GPT itself has launched its own version of a content writing tool, video editing tool, and there are other startups that are claiming that, oh, I am an AI tool, but I will edit your scripts or videos. So how relevant can that company stay if GPT itself is launching it as a free tool? Is that what you're referring
Absolutely,
to?
but simultaneously just think about it. Those startups who are creating some kind of a technology solution which is based on the GPTs or some other such tools. Tomorrow, like as Yash mentioned, tomorrow if ChatGPT shuts down, then all those things will remain unless until they move immediately to something else. So there has to be a plan B kind of a thing that okay fine, it's more like a disaster recovery plan.
Yeah.
That okay fine, tomorrow if something happens, then do I have a fallback?
Yeah.
And if I don't have a fallback, then the entire investment is
Okay, it's become like the nucleus now. Like if that shuts down, it's become a problem. But again, so like circling back to you, like when you are looking at these different companies that you have to invest in, and you mentioned like this is a concern in the VC space as well. Like will these companies be relevant in the next 2 months or even in the next month? What are your filters when you're looking at companies in the AI landscape? Like how do you filter out the right ones to invest in versus like the ones that don't make the cut?
okay. I think I need to step back and just tell you more about our investment strategy. Because at 100x we are investing in a pre-seed stage, so very at an idea stage, very nascent. People are just coming out with idea or they've just completed their MVP. We look at that point of time. So from our perspective, the parameters are very simple. We look at founders. Who are the founders? They really know what they are doing. So are they technically qualified to do what they are doing? What is the idea? Is it something which is relevant as of today and will remain relevant? Probably 2 years, 3 years down the line. Because as an investor, a journey is not like invest today and sell it tomorrow. It's like a 5 years minimum.
Correct.
So then I have to look at from that perspective, and then look at the kind of market that they are going to cater. So these are the basic parameters which will basically help me in decide whether I'm going to get my X return. So ROI is the most important. All put together will help us in deciding whether we have to invest in a startup or not. And believe me, we have invested in a couple of startups which are working on AI domain, something on conversation AI, something on generative AI, and they are doing well. So it's all about learning, understanding what's the technology, and fortunately we have a CEO, Vatsal Kanake is the CEO, and he's the techie. So he knows the technology threadbare. So anything that we have to understand or evaluate from technology perspective, he is there, and when he is giving a blessing that okay fine, this is something which we can go ahead, we are taking a call on that.
Understood.
Good, so proper due diligence check in place.
It has to happen because we are the first check writer. We are taking the maximum risk when we are investing. Rest of the world will follow us. But you can say we are the flag bearers. Now, if
one follow-up question, because your role you mentioned is into corporate deal sourcing, any particular agenda right now for corporates who don't want to build out their own AI tools? Have you seen any case studies? Obviously, if it's confidential, I know you won't share, but anything that you could share to the public knowledge?
So I'll probably put it in a different way. Just think about a company, a corporate, who is basically trying to develop something. Now, if they have to deploy their own resources, their own team, they really don't know what will be the outcome of it. So what is happening is you are deploying your resources, you are deploying your manpower without any understanding that what will be the end result, whether it will be successful or failure. Now imagine a startup, very frugal, 3 or 4 techies working together, and they have already developed something which you are looking at. So it makes more sense for a corporate to rather partner and invest into a startup than try to do something on their own. And this is something which is emerging very fast. We are seeing corporates coming up and they are saying that either we want to invest or we want to partner with them. And there are ways and means of doing. You do a direct investment, or you first give them some kind of a use case, some kind of a problem statement, let them generate those kind of a solution, evaluate that, and if it is relevant for you, then take a decision either to partner with them or invest into them.
Like the example we said, Amazon investing in Anthropic. So this is what is happening in the real world where people.
So I want to put it in that way, that how do you invest and how do you do the due diligence if the particular startup is going to be sustainable or not. The first question you need to ask is, are they building AI or are they using AI? I want to go deep into it with an analogy. So let's say Godrej, right? What they're doing? They're building refrigerators, simple. What is Coke doing? They're using fridge to sell their product, right? So basically, when you build an LLM or build a product, it's a different game altogether, where the top players are competing. X social medias, because obviously they have the data sets, right? And there are people who are using the AI and building money.
Or lay on top.
Right. For me, in specifically, I divide this into two things. One is a service-based business, and second is like you're building the product, right? In service-based business, like for example, we are doing for D2C startups, right? What we do is a basic thing, like I want to do a product photo shoot. Today, there's a major challenge in India because photographers, videographers, you go to the studio, the rent of the studio, then you go back and go to the editors, do the editing, put it on website. So there are 5-6 people who are actually helping to put the content on either the marketplace or either their own website.
Right.
With AI, we can just eliminate everything. And this is where I am coming in the picture. So this is a service-based model, right? Because we are helping them and we are partnering with the right people and the right platforms out there who are helping to, save almost, I'll say 30% of the cost for the company, right? So this is where the use application of the service model comes in. And when you build the products, right? There are, like, if you're building your own product on your own LLM and the data sets, you are going to be one of the major player in the market.